Angles are not formed by a single line but at least two. Parallel lines do not meet same as we do. However, when it comes to education, reaching you is my vocation. And let this lesson be our point of intersection. I am Teacher Marietta T. Kabluyen, your companion as we journey together in discovering the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. Get your pen, your answer sheet, and self-learning module. Extra papers are also needed for your solutions. Are you ready? Fasten your seatbelt, for we are about to begin. Our topic is good for 2 weeks, as indicated in the module. Likewise, we will be dividing the tasks for 2 weeks. In this lesson, you will be guided with these objectives. For week 1, you are expected to first, define the pairs of angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. Second, prove the properties of parallel lines cut by a transversal. For week 2, you are expected to solve problems involving the measures of angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. To start, let's test your prior knowledge about the topic. Get your module, pen, and answer sheet. Turn the module to page 3. Read each question carefully. Choose the best answer. Write the letters of your answer on your answer sheet. For items 1 to 10, use the illustration below. Which are pairs of corresponding angles? Letter A, angle 4 and angle 6, angle 3 and angle 5. Letter B, angle 1 and angle 5, angle 2 and angle 6. Letter C, angle 1 and angle 4, angle 5 and angle 8. And letter D, angle 2 and angle 6, angle 5 and angle 8. For items 2 to 15, answer silently on your answer sheet. After answering, check your answers using the answer key provided at the last page of the module. You may pause this video if you are ready to continue the pre-assessment. Hit the play button when you are done. How is the result of your pre-assessment? If you didn't get a perfect score, don't worry. You will soon understand after going over the lesson. Recalling your basic geometry is very important in our discussion. Let's check if you can remember these terms. Terms and their relevances to real life. First, parallel lines. These are lines in one plane that do not intersect. Why don't they intersect? Because they are of equal distance from each other. We can see the importance of this anywhere. In engineering and architecture, just like the posts, steps, or stairs, and other parts of the building. It can only be seen in the things we use every day, like the comb and many more. Second, intersecting lines. These are lines or line segments that cross at exactly one point. In the figure, line AB intersects line CE at point D. We can see many things around as examples for this. Third, perpendicular lines. These are lines intersecting or crossing at one point, at the same time forming a right angle or 90 degrees angle. The symbol to use is similar to inverted T. In the figure, a small square is placed at the vertex to indicate that the angle measures 90 degrees. Thus, the sides are perpendicular. To help us remember, Just look at the crucifix or the cross where our Jesus Christ was nailed because of our sins. We can also have the flagpole perpendicular to the ground, and many more. Transversal line. This is a line that intersects two or more lines at different points. In the figure, the transversal line is line AB. It intersects lines CE and FG at two different points, which are point D and H. In real life, transversal lines are usually used to connect parts together, just like these roof rafters, or for stability purposes, like this wood in this heavy bookshelf. Math is really everywhere, right? Let's get going. Now, we will discuss the pairs of angles formed by parallel lines cut by a transversal. After this, follow-up activities and assessments will be given. To begin with, look at the angles formed when two lines are cut by a transversal. Line A and line B are the two lines which are cut by the transversal line, which is line T. Questions: how many angles are formed? You're right, there are 8 angles. You can actually place the numbers in any of the angles. Which angles are considered exterior angles? Exterior angles are located outside the parallel lines. Which angles are considered interior angles? Interior angles are located in between the two parallel lines. In short, our basis here is the location of angles with respect to the parallel lines. Now, let's define the pairs of angles and their relationship when two parallel lines are cut by a transversal line. Line A and B are the parallel lines. They are equidistant from each other, so they do not meet even if we extend them. Line T is the transversal. Before we move on, you may get your pen and notebook. Take down some important notes. You may pause the video if necessary. Using this figure, here are the pairs of angles. Number 1. Corresponding angles. This is a pair of non-adjacent interior and exterior angles on the same side of the transversal. When we say non-adjacent, this means they do not have a common side and common vertex. So examples of corresponding angles are angle 1, which is an exterior angle, paired with angle 5, which is an interior angle. Both of these angles lie on the same side of the transversal. Other examples are angle 2 and angle 6, another angle 3 and angle 7, and another example, angle 4 and angle 8. Number 2. Alternate interior angles. From the word alternate and interior. This is a pair of non-adjacent interior angles on opposite sides of a transversal. Among the interior angles 3, 4, 5, and 6, the pair of alternate interior angles are angle 3 and 6. Another, angle 4 and 5. Number 3, alternate exterior angles. From the word alternate and exterior. This is a pair of non-adjacent exterior angles on opposite sides of a transversal. Among the exterior angles 1, 2, 7, and 8, the pair of alternate exterior angles are angle 1 and angle 8, and angle 2 and angle 7. Number 4. Same side interior angles. We can easily identify them from the words used. Same side and interior. This is a pair of interior angles on the same side of a transversal. Examples: angle 3 and angle 5, angle 4 and angle 6. Number 5. Same side exterior angles. This is a pair of two exterior angles which are located on the same side of the transversal. Examples are angle 1 and angle 7, angle 2 and angle 8. Can you follow the given examples? What about you? In your real life, how do you describe your relationship with your special one? Are you similar to same side interior angles, having same likes and same dislikes? Or similar to alternate exterior angles, somewhat far from each other but still connected? Well, only you can define it. Let's have another example. Together, let's do the activity entitled Who's My Pair? Line M and line W are the parallel lines, and line K is the transversal. The 8 angles are already named using numbers. We need to be familiarized which are interior angles and which are exterior angles. Let's label them. Now, let's name all the different pairs of angles which we have discussed earlier. Number 1, corresponding angles. Again, this is a pair of one interior and one exterior located on the same side of the transversal. So, in the figure, what's the pair of angle 1? It's angle 3. What about angle 5? Yes, it's angle 7. And angle 2? Correct, it's angle 4. And last, what's the correct pair of angle 6? Very good, it's angle 8. Number 2, alternate interior angles. These are two interior angles which are non-adjacent and located on opposite sides of line K. So we have angle 2 and angle 7, angle 6 and angle 3. Very good, you are following fast. Next, number 3, alternate exterior angles. Again, from the word alternate and exterior. These are two exterior angles on opposite sides of a transversal. So among these are angles 1 and angle 8, angle 5 and angle 4. Number 4, same side interior angles. We can easily identify this as angle 2 and angle 3, angle 6 and angle 7. Number 5, same side exterior angles. These are pairs of exterior angles on the same side of the transversal. So we have angle 1 and angle 4, angle 5 and angle 8. Can you follow the examples? If you still have questions, I'm just a few texts or call away. Just dial my cell phone number indicated in your envelope. In mathematics, angles have relationships too. In here, the relationship of the pairs of angles can be congruent if the two angles have equal measures, or supplementary if their sum is equal to 180. The relationship is defined by the different postulates and theorems below. Let's continue. Number 1. Corresponding angles postulates. Take a look at the marked pairs of angles. Consider the color coding. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then corresponding angles are congruent. From the figure, one pair of corresponding angles are angle 1 and angle 3. By this postulate, we can conclude that the measure of angle 1 is the same with the measure of angle 3. That's the meaning of congruent. So, if angle 1 is 110 degrees, then angle 3 is equal to 110. In similar way, since angle 2 corresponds with angle 4, then their measures are also the same. If angle 2 is equal to 70 degrees, then angle 4 is also 70 degrees. Before moving further, you might be questioning where we get this 70 degrees. Since angle 1 and angle 2 are linear pair, then their sum is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, to get the measure of angle 2, we subtract 180 and 110. So it becomes 70. This is similar with a pair of angles 5 and 7, and also angle 6 and angle 8. Now we go to the second. Alternate interior angles theorem. In similar way, look at the marked angles. This states that if two parallel lines are cut by transversal, then alternate interior angles are congruent. From our figure, we can say that angle 3 is congruent to angle 6, and angle 2 is congruent to angle 7. So, if angle 3 is equal to 110, then angle 6 is equal to 110. If angle 2 is equal to 70, then angle 7 is also 70 degrees. Number 3. Alternate exterior angles theorem. Again, look at the marked angles. This states that alternate exterior angles are congruent. From our figure, we can say that angle 1 is congruent to angle 8. So, if angle 1 measures 110, then angle 8 is also equal to 110. And angle 5 is congruent to angle 4. If angle 5 is equal to 70 degrees, then angle 4 is also equal to 70 degrees. Can you follow? You can note some questions in your paper, and you can always go back to the previous part of this video if necessary. Number 4. Same side exterior angles theorem. This states that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then same side exterior angles are supplementary. From our figure, we can see that angles 1 and 4 are pair of same side exterior. Therefore, angle 1 plus angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. So, if the measure of angle 1 is equal to 110, then the measure of angle 4 must be 70, so that they will produce a sum of 180 degrees. Likewise with angle 5 and angle 8. If measure of angle 5 is 70, then the measure of angle 8 must be 110. Number 5. Same side interior angles theorem. This states that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then same side interior angles are supplementary. From our figure, same side interior angles are angle 2 and angle 3, and angle 6 and angle 7. Using this, we can conclude that the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. So, if measure of angle 2 is 70, the measure of angle 3 must be 110. Likewise with the measure of angle 6 and angle 7. If the measure of angle 6 is 110, then the measure of angle 7 must be 70. Other pairs to include which are very important in this discussion are, we also have linear pair. When we say linear pair, these are two adjacent angles whose sum is 180 degrees. Look at this example. The sum of 130 and 50 is 180. Other than this, they should form a straight line. Another is vertical angles. It is formed by two intersecting lines. These vertical angles are on opposite sides, just like this figure. Vertical angles are always congruent. So, if the measure of angle 1 is 100, then angle 2 must be equal to 100 also. Now, let's try exercise 2, entitled, Who are we? Identify the angle pair and the relationship if congruent or supplementary. Let's do it orally. Then after 3 seconds, I will state the answer. You check your own answer if you got it right. Number 1 is done for you. Look at this. Let's start. What pair is angle 2 and angle 7? They are alternate interior. What's the relationship? They are congruent. What about angle 5 and angle 4? They are alternate exterior angles, and they are congruent. Angle 1 and angle 3. They are corresponding, you're right. And they are congruent. If you can't follow, you can always pause the video and study the figure. Then after that, hit the play button and continue. Moving on. What about angle 2 and angle 4? Yes, they are corresponding. And they are congruent. Very good. What about angle 1 and angle 8? You're correct. They are alternate exterior and congruent. What about angle 6 and angle 7? Excellent! They are same side interior angles, and they are supplementary. And last, angle 1 and angle 4. You're right, they are same side exterior, and they are supplementary. Very good. I hope you learned something from the examples. Before we end week 1, copy this summary table because this will help you a lot in our week 2 discussion. You may pause the video and start copying. If you are done copying, get your pen, extra paper, and answer sheet. Get ready for week 1 assessment. In your answer sheet, do activity 2, letter A of what's more on page 9 of the module. Check your answers using the answer key. This is located at the last page of this module. For submission, answer the activities indicated in your week 1 answer sheet. Pause this video and enjoy answering. Good luck! Hello mathematicians! Welcome back for this week 2 discussion. Did you know that algebra is a tool to explain geometry? In the same manner, geometry gives life to algebra. This time, we focus on the solving part. As we always know, this is where the beauty of mathematics is. To understand this lesson, it is expected that you have number 1, efficiency in identifying the pairs of angles and their relationships. Number 2, you have knowledge in determining if the angles are congruent or supplementary. Number 3, you have familiarity with the terms being used. Number 4, mastery in solving mathematical equations. We start our example from a simple problem. Example 1. Given that line MK is parallel to line TM and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 50 degrees. Find the measure of the remaining angles. The figure is very important and very useful for you to understand the problem. First, always consider the given. In here, the given is the measure of angle 2, which is 50 degrees. Second, look at the best angle to be paired with the given, considering the pairs of angles discussed previously. Measure of angle 2 and angle 4 are corresponding angles. Third, identify the relationship if supplementary or congruent. Since corresponding angles are congruent, so angle 2 is congruent with angle 4. Then, form the equation basing from the relationship. Change the symbol to equal sign. Therefore, angle 2 is equal to angle 4. And then, solve the missing measure. So, if angle 2 is equal to 50, then angle 4 is also 50 degrees. This is true to all the missing angles. You can actually choose what angle to solve as long as you apply the correct mathematical concepts. What about the measure of angle 5? It is equivalent to 50 degrees also. Why? One possible reason could be because angle 4 and angle 5 are alternate interior angles and they are congruent. What about the measure of angle 3? It is equal to 130 degrees. Why? What's the reason? One possible reason could be Because angle 5 and angle 3 are same side interior angles and they are supplementary. So 180 degrees minus 50 degrees is equal to 130 degrees. What about the measure of angle 1? It is equal to 130 degrees. Again, what's the reason? Why is it equal to 130 degrees? One possible reason could be because angle 3 and angle 1 are corresponding angles and they are congruent. You can actually have your own reason as long as you use the pairs of angles which we have discussed earlier. What is the measure of angle 6? 130 degrees. Why? One of the possible reasons will be angle 6 is same side interior with angle 4 and they are supplementary. Another reason, angle 6 is alternate interior with angle 3 and they are congruent angles. What about the measure of angle 8? Angle 8 is equal to 130 degrees also. One of the reasons, angle 8 is alternate exterior with angle 1 and they are congruent. Another reason, angle 8 is same side exterior with angle 2 and they are supplementary. Another reason, angle 8 is also corresponding with angle 6, so they are also congruent. What is the measure of angle 7? 50 degrees. Possible reason, angle 7 is corresponding with angle 5. Yes, and you can also have your own reasons. As I have said earlier, as long as it does not go against what we have discussed a while ago. If you have observed, we only have two angle measures roaming around. In our previous example, we only have 70 degrees and 110 degrees. At this moment, we'll be adding a little challenge. To tickle your mind, we'll include our favorite variable x, but not your x. Next example. Example number 2. Given that line AB is parallel with line CD, solve the measure of angle ABC. To understand, again, consider the given and their location in the figure. This will help you determine the relationship and guide you to form your equation. In the problem, we need to solve for the value of x first. Looking at the figure, angle ABC and angle BCD are alternate interior angles. Therefore, we can say that they are congruent. So we equate the two angles. Next, we substitute the given expressions. From angle ABC is equal to x plus 38 and angle BCD is equal to 2x minus 7. Next, solve this algebraically. Collect similar terms. We can apply the properties of equality or the shortcut, which is transposition. Transpose 38 on the right side of the equation and 2x on the left. Just don't forget to change the sign to its opposite from positive to negative or vice versa. Next, we simplify. X must be positive, so we need to divide both sides of the equation by -1. Finally, we have x is equal to 45. Next, we are going to solve the actual measure of angle ABC. Measure of angle ABC is represented by x plus 38. Substitute the value of x, which is 45, and add with 38. Therefore, the actual measure of angle ABC is equal to 83 degrees. Let's consider a more challenging problem. Look at example 3. In example 3, the given is line segment QT is parallel with line segment RS. Our problem is to find the measure of angle RST. Segment TS is the transversal. Okay, first, look at the figure very carefully. The given measures of the angles are expressions, so we need to solve for the value of x first. Considering the location of the expressions, we can say that these angles are supplementary because they are same side interior angles. Next, we add them and equate to 180. Substitute the given expressions and simplify algebraically. Collect similar terms, 4x and 2x, then -2 and 2, then equate to 180. Simplify. So we have 6x is equal to 180. To solve for x, we divide both sides by 6. X therefore is equal to 30 degrees. Since we already know the value of x, we are now ready to solve the measure of the unknown angle, which is angle RST. The measure angle RST is represented by the expression 2x plus 2. Simply substitute the value of x, which is 30 degrees. It becomes 2 times 30 plus 2. From here, 2 times 30 is 60. Added to 2, it becomes 62 degrees. This is now the actual measure of angle RST, which is being asked in the problem. Can you follow the examples? You can also go over the other 2 examples given in your module. The next problem for practice is found on page 9. What's more? Activity 2, letter C, number 4. The given is line FR is perpendicular to line RG. Solve the value of x. It's only the value of x that we are going to solve here. What does perpendicular mean? You're right. Perpendicular means being at right angle, and at the same time, it forms 90 degrees. If the two angles form 90 degrees, what is the equation to be formed? Nice try. We add the two given angles. Angle FRM plus angle MRG is equal to 90. Then substitute the expressions. We arrive at 2x minus 14 plus 56 is equal to 90. What comes next? Correct. We simplify by collecting similar terms. This is done by transposing negative 14 and 56 to the right. Change the respective signs, then solve for x. What's the value of x? Good job! X is equal to 24. Okay, if I'm going to ask you, what is the actual measure of angle FRM? The measure of angle FRM is 34 degrees. Congratulations, learners, for reaching this far. Now, in your 12 or 13 years of living in this world, have you realized that mathematics is everywhere? Most of the times, people do not appreciate the beauty and the application of math because the mind is set to see mathematics as pure solving. Mathematics is very important in our lives. In this lesson alone, the application can be seen anywhere. Look at these examples. Next figure. The follow-up questions will help develop your higher order thinking skills. Have you ever tried ziplining? Others call it riding in a tram line. Have you observed how the parts are connected? Consider this sample figure. The zip line in the figure goes from a 20-meter tall tower to a 15-meter tall tower, which are 150 meters apart in a slightly inclined ground. We consider that the tension of the rope is excluded. Okay, so for plus points, answer these questions in a whole sheet of pad paper. Staple together with your answer sheet and submit on your schedule. Copy the questions. Are the two towers parallel? You explain your answer. Is the zip line parallel to the ground? Why? Why? Question number 3. What kind of angle pair is angle M and angle A? And last question, is it necessary for the measure of angle M to be lesser than the measure of angle A? Why? What will happen if they have equal measure? Okay, so before we pack up and close this topic, let's summarize our lesson by answering these questions. Let's do it together. When do we equate the given angles? Okay, so we can only equate the given angles when the pair of angles are congruent. What are the pairs of angles that are congruent? We have corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, exterior angles. Next, when do we add the given and equate to 180? We can do this when the pair of angles are supplementary. What are the pairs of angles that are supplementary? We have same side interior angles and same side exterior angles. Now that you are equipped with the skills related to our topics, I believe most of you are waiting to share and apply what you have learned. Get your week 2 answer sheet. Answer the activities indicated there. If you are done, submit your paper on the scheduled date for week 2. I hope you learned something. Again, this is your teacher Marietta T. Kabluyen saying, life is never easy. However, mathematics gives us the hope because in every problem, there is always a corresponding solution. And trust everything to God and do your part. Teacher Marietta, signing off.